seconds while I introduce what's going to happen in this session, and just a reminder of today as well. One of the things we put in the chat earlier that I'm going to copy, and I'm going to copy it and repaste it, and we might do that again as the participants roll in, is if you are a speaker today, and if for any reason you've had difficulties with Zoom or haven't used Zoom much in the past, my university has made this guide for external participants, how to share your screen, etc. So if you're nervous at all and you're presenting later, you might have a quick look at that guide and just have a explore of where your share your screen button is, and make sure you know how to put your presentation in the full presentation mode. And that might help facilitate things. So what we have this morning is a very special session. I think it's very special. It's a session on public engagement of research, or public engagement science. I'm actually the university lead in public engagement of research at Brookes University. So I work with researchers from every discipline from across the university to give them tools, advice, and information on why it's important to engage the public with your science. This is partially sometimes because of the research council who supports you. Maybe your government wants you to let the public know what your research was about and the findings of your research. It also can get people inspired about science as a career. So when we think of publics, we have children, we have the government, we have just your general adults in a supermarket. So the public isn't just the person who's next to you on the bus. It could be any group of publics. And knowing how to communicate at different levels, the right sort of information to those different groups is really, really important. I think especially in this field where there's a lot of vital clinical information, where there's the potential for misinformation, where there's fear of venomous taxa as well. These are all reasons it's really, really important to get some advice from our experts. So I'm going to invite the panel that we have today to turn on their cameras. Maybe they already are. I'm in the wrong mode. I'm going to go into this mode. They are on. Hey, everybody's there. And so how the session is going to run today is we have several different members of the panel, and they are kind of divided into 4 groups. One group has more members than the others, and they're going to give a small presentation of about 15 minutes. We're going to have 2 groups of presentations, plenty of time, 20 minutes, 25 minutes for questions and discussion. So I really want everybody to use this as the session where you become really unshy, where you turn your camera on, where you ask your question. I'm going to ask you to do that, but of course I appreciate plenty of you will still only prefer to type in the chat. So don't be shy also from continuing to type in the chat. But if you want to actually speak and have a conversation with the roundtable, that's also fantastic. And each member of the roundtable is actually going to introduce themselves during their talk. But I have so many documents to look at. But just to give a very, very brief introduction, make sure everybody's here. So we first have a group from, from Health Action International, and we have 3 people from Health Action International. So we have Birta and Dorothy, or is it Doro? They're going to speak, and they're going to be our first speakers up. And we also have Ben somewhere who might be joining our panel. And they're going to be speaking to us today from the Netherlands and from Kenya. We then have Caitlin Henderson, who's going to be speaking from Australia. We're going to have a short break. We're going to then go on to some other types of public engagements. And we're going to have Sterren Smallbrugge from the Netherlands. And last but not least, here from the UK, we're going to have T. Francis. And we're going to be covering everything from outreach education, more structured education programs, to using social media, to using international media, to just being enthusiastic and passionate about our topics.